Hello, I'm in my gym because this is going to be a exercise gym video. No, I'm not working out. No, 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 no. So don't click off yet. But this is something I want to talk about, and it's I've noticed a resurgence in fat phobia and just outright blatant fat hatred, and I want to talk about that. Like I first off, I seen videos saying about how Ozempic shows that the body positivity movement was always fake to begin with, and it talks about former body positive celebrities who have gone on to lose weight through Ozempic, um, like Lizzo and oh, I forget her name, uh, comedian. She gets hate a lot. Um, Blonde. I forget. And Rebel Wilson. But here's the thing. The body positivity movement was never about saying you should be fat or being fat has no, risk or anything. It was just always about saying, "Hey, fat people don't deserve to be treated like shit just because we're fat." You know, and some will like, no, no, it's about health. No, fuck you. It's not about health. It was never about health. You know, it's like there's lots of behaviors that are unhealthy: drinking, smoking, coking. You know, that are not only not talked about, but in some cases actively promoted. Um, I've used this example before. The guitar player C.C. DeVille said he got more respect as a drug addict than he did when he was overweight. So it's never about health. It's just as fat people we don't look as good, and that's it. That's basically what it comes down to. It's like society doesn't see us as attractive to look at, so they don't want us in society. Um, but yeah, and so what the body positivity movement was, it was just saying, hey, we exist. Don't treat us like shit, and don't try to lock us away, like the family embarrassment, you know, or the mad woman in the attic, to borrow an older phrase. And it's also an acknowledgement that weight loss is hard, especially if you have been big since childhood. You know, the earlier you become fat, the harder it is to not only take the weight off, but to keep it off. I mean, I was fat as a child. In my late teens, I lost over 100 pounds. I kept it off for about 5 6 years, and it slowly came back. And since then, I would lose weight, it would go up, lose weight, go back up. Because once your body adapts to being fat, it wants to keep that because it sees that as baseline. So anytime I go into a calorie deficit, I'm just using myself, but anytime any fat person goes into a calorie deficit, biologically speaking, their body thinks they're starving, and they do everything, and your body does everything in its power to lower your metabolism, increase hunger, to get you back up to what it feels is baseline. And also, a lot of people who are obese often do so as a form of self medication. They have trauma histories, um, and food is their way of coping. Just like for the alcoholic, it's alcohol. For the porn addict, it's pornography. For the gambler, is gambling. Across the board. So it's like this is hard. It's difficult to do. It's almost impossible to sustain, and we shouldn't be treated less than because of how we look. Okay? That's part one. Part two is, yes, we do have new drugs on the market. And I can honestly understand people wanting to do, especially in the entertainment industry, because in the entertainment industry, your looks are, let's face it, 80% of your career. Like, there are a lot of great actors who don't get roles because they're not attractive. There are a lot of great musicians who don't make it in the music industry because they're not attractive, especially the vocalist. There are a lot of really good comedians who don't make it because they're not attractive. So, if you're an overweight person that society sees as being not attractive, and you now have a way to lose that weight, so you can be more attractive and get more work, that's a major incentive. So I completely understand it. That doesn't undercut the message at all. And the second thing I've seen a lot of complaining about are, overweight coaches, overweight fitness centers, stuff like that. And here's the thing. And that's why I did my 2 little exercise series. Bigger bodies move differently. My body does not move the same as somebody half my size. All right. Taking somebody who is, obese, morbidly obese, and trying to get them to do exercises that would normally be done by somebody much, much thinner is not going to work. Especially when first starting out. I tried a personal trainer back in the late 2000s, like 2009, 2010, and I didn't like it because they weren't. The trainer was in immaculate shape, but what they were showing me, I couldn't do at the time. A lot of it I probably still couldn't do, even though I have now years of consistent training under my belt. So, if you're just starting out and you're obese, morbidly obese, and you can train with somebody who is also obese, it can make it easier because they know how your body moves. They know how hard it is to do certain things. And so they can accommodate for that in a way that somebody who was never that way never could. And also having spaces just for, obese and morbidly obese people to work out in. It's the same idea behind women-only gyms, LGBTQ-only gyms. It's like, when you come from a marginalized community, being in a space made specifically for you and people of your community, it can take a lot of pressure off it. And you can then use that mental and emotional freedom to take and put into your workout. And also, we've heard it enough. You don't want us in your gyms. Like, I don't know how many YouTube videos and TikToks I've seen where it's like, why are fat people in the gym? I don't know, Sharon and Chad. Why would somebody who's obese or morbidly obese be in a place full of health and fitness equipment designed to make you thinner and more muscular? It's like, you want us to improve, you want us to lose weight, but you don't want us going to the place where that is possible. You just want us to somehow, wave a magic wand and be 4% body fat, then go to the gym? That's why I will always defend Planet Fitness. I know people keep saying that Planet Fitness isn't a real gym. It's a real gym. All right. I've been there. I've gone there. There are people with great physiques there. like as good as you'll ever see. And then there are people who look like me. You know, older people, in their 60s, 70s, 80s who are going there, who don't want to be around jacked, ripped men and women throwing weights around and everything like that. They just want to do what they can to be healthier. And saying that somehow there shouldn't be this or this is wrong, no. It's like this is good for people who are, obese or morbidly obese. It's like, well, you won't be, yeah, you will, because you'll be with somebody who understands you, who understands the difficulties, the trouble of you might have with moving properly, of doing certain exercises, who is more willing to work with you and more understanding than somebody who's just like, all right, 100 jumping jacks, 25 burpees, 54 push-ups, whatever. So, yeah. So, you may not like it, but for people like me, having, overweight trainers, having gyms catered for people who are overweight, that can be a lifesaver. Just like with the videos I made, they're not for super jacked people. They're not for people who are already at like 4% body fat. They're for people like me. And I don't know if those videos helped anybody, but if just one person saw one of my videos and was like, hey, if she can do it, I can do it, then that's awesome. So anyway, to all the people who feel that, there shouldn't be overweight trainers or overweight fitness influencers or gyms geared towards overweight people, which is once again weird because you don't want us in your gyms. Please note, it's not about you. It's about us and about us becoming healthier. Because we do realize this is unhealthy. And we're doing our best. And just for nothing, I'm healthier today than I was last year, and I was healthier last year than I was the year before. I go for a yearly physical, and my numbers keep getting better. Cholesterol, blood sugar, everything. So I'm still fat as fuck, but cardiovascularly, blood sugar wise, I'm all good. Which is the real point of exercise anyhow. So, I prattled on long enough. And honestly, if you're the type of person who I was talking about, you're just going to write this off anyhow. You can't be swayed, so. Anyway, I'm done. Bye.